Let's just be honest.
Be honest.
Let's just be honest.
Be honest. Hi, everybody, and I am Kit Kat here once again. Welcome back to the Honest Podcast, and today's topic is ministry involvement. And today, I am so happy to once again have my very close friends in church, in my life, and in ministry, Avery Clark and Henry Lowry. Welcome, guys, and thank you so much for getting back on here.
Thank you for having us. So great to be back with the Honest Podcast.
My pleasure.
Henry, I like the pillows things that she did. The M and I is pretty cool.
Yeah, because I believe that she probably made those herself, and that's more artistic than I could do in probably a year and a half.
I feel you on that. I feel you. She's really ministry involved. So, Kit Kat, what questions do you have for us today?
Okay, so today I have one question because it is kind of a big question.
All right.
So which one of you guys want to go first?
Ladies first, I've always heard.
You're killing me with these glasses. Okay. All right. My question would be, what ministries are you guys involved in, and how have they affected you or your lives today? So who wants to start? Because I'm not going first.
Well, I guess I can start.
Go ahead.
That's actually a pretty loaded question for me. Ministry involvement, I say the first thing I did as far as ministry involvement is when I was young. I took my first real position when I became a TLT with the Pathfinders. That was my first real position. As when I was younger, I would be involved in ministry, but I never had a specific set of duties and something I was responsible for. So when I was 14, I became a TLT, and I rose through the ranks of Pathfinders. Eventually, by the time I was 18, I went away to Andrews, and at that point, I really wasn't doing much in the church. And then I came back from Andrews. Once I came back from Andrews and was able to grow my relationship with Christ there, that's when I really started getting involved. So the first thing I did was I became the assistant director at Burns for the Burns Falcons. I became the assistant director. Then the next year, I became the actual director. So once I was the Pathfinder director, I became the media coordinator for Burns as well. So now I'm the Pathfinder director and the media coordinator. I also act in the role of the assistant youth director. It's not an official board voted position, but I act in the role of assistant youth director. And those are the main three things that I do. I also, I'm involved with the mime ministry and our dance ministry, as well as our acting ministry. Pretty much all the ministries that go on at the church, I get involved in some type of way. Other than that, I find that ministry is the best way to keep people in church. I'm a very huge advocate of giving young people a position or giving them something to do, because I found that the people that have something to do, they have a purpose and they feel more connected and they're less inclined to stray and walk away. Because I have friends who are in the church that are involved. I have friends who are in the church and they're really not involved. I have friends that have left the church. And those friends that grew up with me that were the most involved in the church are the ones that have stuck around. Those are the ones that stay. And those are the ones that continue. Yes, like Kaylin. Yes, just like you. I appreciate your ministry all the time. And those are the ones that continue to work in the church and pass on, to the next generation.
Wow. That's man, I applaud. I applaud you, sir, because you're doing a great skill. Kit Kat?
Yes. Oh, you want me to go next, don't you?
Of course,
yes.
I want to hear what great ministries you are involved in, Kit Kat, because I only know a few, So,
Okay. Well, I don't know if camp meeting and working junior camp count as a ministry because that's
Yes,
like
definitely
actual.
in ministry.
Oh, okay. Well, then in that case, junior camp, I'm always the photographer or the laundress, and I love to take pictures all day. And I'm really happy that that's the job that I got. And I love everyone, but I am not a fan of stress. I'm kind of I don't really like that much to be in charge of people that's not too far from my age, especially nowadays, like you gotta have a lot of patience, and I am lacking patience. But I'm working on it. I'm getting much better at it. But I work and get involved with junior camp meeting. I've loved camp meeting. I've been going since I was a little kid. I have never missed one. I have always been to one, even if it's only one Saturday, which I was really sad about. I did that last year, and that was the first time I didn't stay the whole time. So it would be junior camp meeting, youth council, Pathfinders. I was first, like Henry, a TLT. Then I became staff. Now I work under Henry, which I am very thankful of, and I appreciate that, Henry, because I love working with my friends. And just like he said, it's really hard to try to stay in the same friend circle that you had in high school or in college versus when you're doing ministry. Because most of the time, your ministry, especially when you're involved in so many different ones, it takes a lot of your time. So most of the time, that's the only people you talk to is who you're in ministry with. But there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I honestly think that sometimes in a way that does get rid of your toxic friendships without you even knowing about realizing it until later. So I think that is one of the benefits when you're involved and you're really, really focused on your church priorities, that you do avoid dangerous situations or strange circumstances that put you in odd positions because you're too busy trying to do something over here. You're not really focused on everything else. And one of my favorite ministries that I'm involved in would be Pathfinders, because I've been involved in it for 8 or 9 years. I'm not really sure at the moment. I would have to check the paperwork. But yeah, I was involved with Pathfinders the longest, and I never give up on Pathfinders. Like Pathfinder for life. Once a Pathfinder, always a Pathfinder.
We are the Pathfinder Strong.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna get Avery on this team one day.
Aha, no. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. So wow. Like and I do, like, I support Pathfinders. Like, don't get it wrong. I do support Pathfinders. That's just not my ministry. So, but yeah. So what ministries am I involved in? I have a very long list of ministries I'm involved in. I'm AY leader at my church. I have a Mind Ministry at Unashamed 6. Shout out to you, 6. I am also the communications director for my church. I work with the LRC Lake Region Conference Youth Department. I am the executive coordinator for junior camp for the youth department, and I'm also the media personnel for LRC Youth Department. So I'm the one who kind of like post flyers, stuff like that. But how these things have changed my life? It's changed my life and it's impacted in a big way. As far as like, this is my second year being AY leader. Before I was the assistant AY leader for about 3 or 4 years, and I was helping my former leader, who was also my cousin, Taryn, like run it, create events, and do programs and things like that. And it was a great experience. Like, it helped me to learn and things like that. With the Unashamed 6, we're going on year 6. Like, this is my 6th year having the group. It started as soon as I got off of college. Came home. There was a wonderful lady, Miss Phyllis Washington, who I love so much, who she presented this idea to me. She's like, I want you to direct the Mind group. And Henry, you know what I told her? Would you like to know what I told her? As soon as I got back, I told her no. I was like, no. I will not be taking that group. I will not be directing it. I just came home from college. I I was excited to be home from college. I was like, no, I'm not taking a group. I don't want anything. I was like, I want to make money. That was my goal. You know, you graduate from college, you got that degree. I've come home to make money. God, I guess God had another plan. He was like, you came home to take a mind group. Like, all right. So I took the mind group, and like we've been working on 6 years strong, still rolling. Got new members coming in, and some who have left, but there's still always in our group. And then so like I had that ministry rolling, and then when I came and the funny thing is like the same year I came home from college and got the mind group was the same year I started. Actually, no, it was the year before. The year before that, I started working with Pastor North, Jason North, who was the youth director of Lake Green Conference. And, you know, he just brought me in. I was just a sound guy, you know, just a sound guy for the youth tent and everything like that. That's all I did. I came, I did sound, I went back to my cabin, and I had my goldfish. That was my life during camp meeting. I had my best friend, Michael Sheldon, who was working there, you know. I hung out with him. I didn't really do too much. And then I was sweetly, we can say, I say tricked. Other people will say I was invited to become a part of the junior camp experience. I sweetly say I was tricked because it was kind of like, you know how you go to a meeting, yeah, we're going to talk about some things. And then there's just a group surrounding it, and you're just like, I feel awkward walking into this meeting. You walk into the meeting, and you're like, hey, so we're talking about junior camp. I'm like, oh, what is that? I don't think I should be in this meeting. I think I should go. They're like, no, we want you to be a part of it. So after that experience, I was like, all right. It was like, I think it was 2015 where I started. I met all the staff. And Henry, here's the funny part. I met all the staff during camp meetings.
Mm-hmm.
I met them all during camp meetings. Like, yeah, this is going to be the staff working for junior camp. Who the whole camp meeting there, I was like, I don't think that's my calling. You know, I don't think that's my pool, Henry. So, you know, I was like, no, after camp meeting, I'm going home. Let me tell you, every one of those staff members, they were like, oh, so you're going to come work junior camp, whole camp meeting. Oh, Avery, we're going to miss you. Kit Kat is one of those people who came with me. Like, so you're going to work junior camp. You're going to go work with us. You're going to come hang with us. You're going to go. I was like, no. But somehow I ended up being a part of it. I was convinced by, you can thank two people who convinced me. Well, I'll even give it three people. Michael Shelton, Ashley, make it four. Michael Shelton, Pastor North, Taylor Turner, and Kaylin Williams. Those four people stayed on me about being a part of this junior camp. And ever since then, it was the best experience I ever had. Best ministry I could have been a part of. Like meeting those kids, hanging out with those kids, and like building that platform and that understanding and that mindset. Now I'm working with Dr. Abraham Henry, Dr. A, in the youth department, and it's like changed my life. And it gave me a whole new thought process on how ministry should be and how to work with young people and things like that. It's just,
you know, I think most people have a similar story to when they get their start, because I feel like I was tricked as well into starting my media job at the church. You know, first they're like, oh, we want you to help with the sound. No, once
yes.
To give us a little help so we can have some flexibility. They're like, oh, well, we want you to run the cameras for us so that we can have some help. Then 2 months later, you're the media director. But it's a good process to get it done.
I feel like people don't understand that. It's like they're like, yeah, no. We're just gonna bring you on the team. You know, you're just gonna be a part of it. And then sweetly after, you're like, I'm the head of it. Wait. When did that become the plan? I don't remember agreeing to those terms. No. Kika, you ever had one of those experiences where you were tricked, or did you?
Honestly, I feel like Henry was trying to trick me to be deputy at first. I'm not gonna lie, but I can confirm that both of you were tricked, especially Henry, because he had called me after it happened. He was like, I was supposed to do something at church, and I walk into a meeting and they're like, congratulations, you're the new director. And he's like, this is little face. What? I was very confused. He was like, but I don't want to be director. But since no one else was doing it, Henry was like, I gotta do this. We gotta keep this ministry going. I don't know if that's word for word what he said, but I do know that that's the reason he did it. And I'm very proud of you both because you guys stuck through it. And we're still here. And if it wasn't for us getting involved in these ministries, we probably would have never, ever met and became friends. I don't even know how long I've been friends with you guys. That's how close we are. I don't remember how old I was when I met y'all. I don't know how many years it's been, but we've been friends for a minute.
I just want to add one more thing about ministry. Ministry is important, but I think a lot of people have a confused idea about ministry. They feel like you have to be a pastor, you have to be an elder, the AY director to do ministry, but that's not true at all. If you're doing a CFL and you're the coach or the assistant coach or you're the photographer, like Ken was saying, anything that you're doing that's supporting the church and trying to help the church grow and doing things for Christ, that's a ministry. That's why anytime somebody does something, they'll do something. I say, I appreciate your ministry. I actually got that from Sandra. A lot of people think that I started saying that, but I actually got that from Sandra. So I want to give credit where credit is due. But a lot of things can be ministry as long as it's for the good of the church. So even if you come up with something completely new that somebody isn't already doing or know anything about, if it's conducive to growing the church or helping people create a stronger relationship with Christ in any type of way, it's a ministry. So I don't want people to feel like they have to be pigeonholed to certain things to do ministry.
Exactly. I think that is a hard part. Like a lot of people, I have friends who like, I wouldn't call this a ministry. I'm like, yo, what you're doing is a ministry. You don't have to have that high rank position and that high rank title to be in ministry. And like I do remember Sandra does say that. Sandra King, he does say that a lot. Like, yo, man, I appreciate your ministry. Oh, great job, appreciate your ministry. I'm like, they don't understand. Like, even if you just singing a song, you could be a ministry. Even if you're just doing like a children's story, it's a ministry. Like, as long as, and I tell people all the time, as long as you're doing it to the glory of God, it's a ministry. And that's something people shouldn't forget. As long as it's to the glory of God, it's a ministry. It should be a part of your culture. It should be a part of the way you live your life, doing it to the glory of God. And that's why I tell Kit Kat all the time, what you're doing is a ministry. And everywhere I go, Kit Kat, you're going to be coming with me. Because we are a team ministry. Don't you agree, Kit Kat? Oh, wait.
I would not say I fully agree with that very last part, but
What? Oh, that you're tagging along?
Yes.
Because we are a team like JJ says on Good Times, dynamite. So we are that great team. So we are team dynamite.
Okay, all right. If you say so, I will assist in any way possible. But gas is not free, my friend. That's all my concern is right there.
That's why I leave that in the hands of the Lord. That the Lord will provide. He has that gas that will never run dry. All right. Amen. So, amen. So, any other statement would you like to add to that?
Okay. Well, I am very happy and thankful that I am involved in ministry, and I will do whatever it takes to make a difference. And I really appreciate the people that are out there doing ministry, even though they might not want to call it ministry. No matter how small your job is, you're going to make a huge, huge impact on someone that you meet. And that's the best thing about ministry. That's the number one thing we should be striving to do, is to make an impact on somebody's life. Even if you only smile at somebody, you never know what they're going through. You can just make someone happy just by smiling at them. It does not take that much to do ministry. Now, for some of these ministries, it takes a lot to keep it going. And if it wasn't for a few people, most of us probably wouldn't even be in ministry. Or maybe I'm just talking about myself, but like shout out to Sandra King, Dr. Henry, Pastor Henry, but I want to give you your credit because you're in that doctor, all right? And Robert Jackson Jr., Angie North, Angie Gardner, Pastor North, all of them kept, I don't know about y'all, but they gave me motivation to keep on going, even when I didn't want to be in ministry. You know, during college and high school, you do get stressed out a few times because of your schoolwork. You don't want to mess up, and then you don't want to mess up in ministry at the same time. But it was them that, you know, keep you going and keep you motivated. And I really appreciate y'all. And we all thank you guys for everything that y'all did in ministry, no matter how small or how big. So we just want to say thank you one more time.
Appreciate your
Yeah,
ministry.
yeah, I can't go. Like, I honestly can't go without saying her name. Latita Thomas, like, she is a real one who, like, will fight your battles, have your back, be there no matter what. And, like, I appreciate her, like, because, like, every time when I started working with Pastor Nor, like, always Latita, I'll be like, Latita, she was like, hey, Bray, you doing it big? I was like, she always at my back. And so, like, that whole list that you said, and Latita, like, that is a family. Like, that is like the LRC Youth Department family. Like, they helped every young person to keep that stride, keep on going, because they were like, don't give up. What you're doing is the ministry, and they saw the greatness within you, and they kind of helped build that up. So I appreciate all of them for what they did.
Oh, and Director Ricky from Burns. We always gotta remember Ricky.
OG for sure.
So we love y'all, and we really do miss you guys. I really, really, really hope to see y'all soon after all this ends, because I need to see my Pathfinder, my church, my LRC family. I need to see everybody because I miss all of y'all. And I guess we will see you guys on the next episode. And once again, Avery and Henry, thank you for being on the podcast today.
No problem. And, you know, I gotta say, like, we are looking for guests, you know, to appear on the next episode. Me and Henry don't want to be the only ones talking. We would like to hear you guys' opinion. Ain't that right, Henry?
That's definitely for sure. You know, we appreciate you having us on here, though, Kaylin, allowing us to spread our words about ministry. Appreciate it.
And once again, if you guys have any topics y'all want us to talk about, or if you want to be on here, I'll put the email right here, honestpodcast@hotmail.com. And don't worry, we do check our email. So I hope to see you guys soon.
Let's just be honest.
Be honest.